Hello future CAs, welcome back to my channel, your one-stop guide for everything related to CA exams. So do you want to crack CA final AFM like a pro? Then don't miss this video. If you are new here, I am Pooja, a chartered accountant. I have an experience of working for Ernst & Young and KPMG, and I help CA aspirants like you succeed with practical tips, strategies and support. So the ICAI Board of Studies recently conducted a powerful webinar giving crystal clear guidance on mock test papers, smart strategies for chapter-wise preparation and insider tips to help you score big in the exam. And in this video I have summarized all those golden points for you. Short, sharp and to the point. So if you are serious about mastering AFM, this video is your shortcut to clarity and confidence. So let's dive right into the video. Also guys, if you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. So guys, when you visit my channel in the playlist section, you can see there is a separate playlist for CA final exam. And there is also playlist for CA final auditing, CA final AFM, and also there is a playlist for this case scenario booklet where I'll be adding more videos by solving the case scenario questions. There is also a playlist as CA for students. In this I have made some videos demonstrating different techniques in which you can use CA while preparing for your CA exams. So please visit my channel and you can watch all of these videos. First we'll see some key points discussed in the webinar. So the first suggestion was given that you should study the entire study material thoroughly because for MCQ the question might be asked from any part of the study material. Even in the recent mock test paper which was released, you can notice that most of the questions of the mock test paper were from the study material itself. Hence it was suggested that you should cover 100% of the study material. The next point mentioned was attempt the mock test paper seriously in exam-like condition. That is, do not refer to any notebook and solve the paper just like you are solving the real exam. Keep a timer and take 3 hours and solve it in the real exam-like situation. And after you complete attempting the mock test paper, self-evaluate the mock test paper and also assess your performance. So you have to compare your answer with the ICAI answer and you can assess your performance. And one more important point mentioned in the webinar was you have to prepare your own notes, especially for the theory concepts. So this will help you in retaining the concepts better. And also if you prepare notes, you can use this for revision purpose one day before the exam. And the next important point mentioned was in the BOS knowledge portal, the section wise weightage is available. You can use this for reference only, but do not ignore any chapter based on the low weightage. Because what happens is most of the times you can see that in each question there are different subparts A, B and C. So it might happen that subpart A might be from one chapter, subpart B might be from another chapter. So if you ignore any chapter, there might be possibility that you won't be able to answer the question correctly. Even in case of MCQ also, when the case scenario will be given, there are possibility that one case scenario itself relates to different chapters. So it is very important to go through all the chapters in the syllabus. Next, a question was asked in the webinar as to what should be the sequence of preparation. So it was suggested that you should follow the order of the chapters given in the study material itself. Because in the study material, the chapters are given in logical order itself already. So it is better you can follow this order itself. Because if you see here, first there is this chapter derivatives. So once you gain clarity over this chapter, after this only you will be able to attempt the next chapter, foreign exchange, exposure and risk management. And even for the other chapters also it's the same way. So it's better to follow this sequence itself as given in the study material, since it's the most logical sequence. And also one more important thing mentioned was, if there is a question relating to equity beta calculation, and in the question if nothing is mentioned about the beta of the debt, then the beta of the debt has to be considered as 0. And in this case, you have to give a clear assumption about it, assumption or a note, because notes and assumption also form a part of your solution, and marks will be awarded for that also. And the next important point mentioned in this webinar was, if there is any question relating to future contract, it is important to see how the future value has been quoted. For example, if the future value is quoted in the question as 94, so that means the future contract is available at 6%. So like this you have to analyze the question very carefully. Next we will see some chapter wise guidance. For each chapter some guidance was given in the webinar. So let's see what was it. So first we have chapter number 1, Financial Policy and Corporate Strategy. So this is a highly theory based chapter, but it also includes a few numerical topics like sustainable growth rate. So make sure you focus both on the conceptual part, that is the theory part, and the calculation part, that is practical part also of the chapter. Next we have chapter number 2, Risk Management. So this is also mostly theoretical chapter. But however, do not make an assumption that practical question will not be asked from this chapter. Because for example, from this chapter, Risk Management, Value at Risk, this is the most frequently tested part. So most of the times question was asked from this value at risk, and this is a practical part of the chapter. So one tip here given was, avoid classifying the chapter as purely practical or theoretical, because some chapters are mix of both. So it is better to go through both the parts of the chapter, practical part as well as theory part. Next we have chapter number 3, Advanced Capital Budgeting Decisions. So actually this chapter is an advanced version of the financial management chapter that has already been discussed at your CA inter level. So in this chapter, the theory portion comprises of topics like impact of technology, government policy, and risk on capital budgeting. And the practical portion comprises of techniques like sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis, and simulation analysis. Then chapter number 4, Security Analysis. So this includes the following topics: fundamental analysis, technical analysis, efficient market hypothesis, and weak form of efficient market theory, etc. Then we have chapter number 5, Security Valuation. So this chapter comprises of valuation of equity shares, valuation of bonds with focus on duration and yield curve, and it also has valuation of money market instruments. So money market instrument comprises of simple calculation, and some key points relating to money market instruments are, the life of these instruments is less than 1 year. And also one more topic covered in this chapter was difference between money market instrument and bonds. Then we have chapter number 6, Portfolio Management. So this is one of the longest and one of the most important chapters of the syllabus. And some topics covered under this chapter is standard deviation, covariance, Markowitz model, capital market theory, and also some ratios like Sharpe ratio, Trainer ratio, and Jensen's alpha. It also consists of topics like formulation of portfolio strategies, like rebalancing strategies, fixed income portfolios, budget strategy, barbell and ladder strategies. And it also comprises of topics like alternative investment avenues. Then we have chapter number 7, securitization. So this is mostly a theoretical chapter and it primarily covers benefits, participants, mechanism, problems and instruments, application of blockchain and tokenization, and also topics like securitization in India. Next we have chapter number 8, mutual funds. So basically this is a very simple chapter and mostly it is theory. However, few numerical questions are also covered in this chapter. Next we have chapter number 9, derivative analysis and valuation. So this chapter is the core of the syllabus and it majorly covers topics like forwards, futures, options and swaps. However, swaps are covered in the chapter interest rate risk management. So mainly forward, futures and options, these are covered. So option valuation techniques are covered in this chapter using binomial model, risk neutral model and Black-Scholes model. And there are also concepts of Greeks. Exotic options are also covered. These are advanced and complex topics. However, they are often asked in the exams. Then there is also topic covered on credit derivatives. So there are topics like credit risk, interest rate risk, liquidity and prepayment risk. And this also includes topics like credit default swaps. And we also have topics like real options, which is a combination of capital budgeting plus options concept. And there are also topics like commodity, weather and electricity derivatives. These are new age instruments. Next we have chapter number 10, foreign exchange exposure and risk management. So this chapter starts with international payment systems and some key topics under this are Loro, Nostro and Vostro accounts, exchange rate quotation and forecasting, forward contracts, currency swaps, forex options, that is importer exporter foreign exchange options. Then importance of understanding interest rate parity. Then we have chapter number 11, international financial management. So this is the blend of financial management and international aspects. And some of the key topics under this are adjusted present value and gift city concepts. Then we have chapter number 12, interest rate risk management. So some topics included under this are benchmark rates, traditional and modern risk measurement techniques and swaptions as well. Then we have chapter number 13, business valuation. So basically this is the foundation for the next chapter, that is mergers and acquisitions. And this chapter covers the following topics: net assets, earning based model, cash flow based methods, etc. And valuation of startups and impact of ESG factors on valuation. That is ESG means environmental, social and governance. Then we have chapter 14, mergers, acquisition and corporate restructuring. So basically mergers and acquisition means external restructuring and corporate restructuring includes internal changes. So from this chapter both theory and practical questions are asked. Next we have the last chapter, startup finance. So mostly this is a theoretical chapter but this is very important. It is important to understand the funding stages and different instruments involved. And that's it guys, that wraps up the most important takeaways from the ICAI BOS webinar for CA Final AFM. If you found this summary helpful, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more smart strategies and update. And also share it with your study group because success is better when shared. Until next time, stay focused, stay consistent. And as I always say, study smart and conquer that exam. I will see you all in the next video.